Good evening, folks. How you doing?
Good evening, teacher. I'm eating.
Okay, good. Enjoy your meal. So, folks, welcome to the session number 3. In this session, folks, we're gonna discuss some strategies, some teaching and learning strategies, okay, and the types of teaching and learning strategy that we can use when designing some materials and some learning strategies for students, okay. The main objective of this session, folks, is to identify those types of strategy that we can use in a classroom, okay. So we're gonna start with a simple question that I would like to listen to all of you. It's just one here and the other one, okay? We have more after this. Let's say this. What do you understand by teaching and learning strategies? So what are teaching strategies and learning strategies? Okay, we're gonna start with Jacqueline. Jacqueline, what do you understand by teaching strategies?
Okay, teacher. I understand about teaching strategy is it's the different way that teacher can use to teach the students. Or for example, I understand this about teaching strategies.
Okay, good. Marilia, what about you, Marilia? I'm seeing that you're raising your hand.
I'm sorry, what is the question?
What do you understand by teaching and learning strategy? You got the question on the screen.
What I understand is that there are some strategies to teach and I'm sorry, I don't get it.
Blas, how are you, Blas?
Hi, teacher. I'm good. Thanks for asking you.
Blas, what do you understand by teaching and learning strategies?
Teaching and learning strategies. Well, the first thing for teaching is I would say is the way that you teach, the strategies that you teach. For example, if you are a very active teacher and what you use is a video, and then you tend to ask questions, and that's a strategy because what you do is firstly to make the class interactive and also to provide some, let's say, tools to your students in order to let them develop their skill, their speaking skill. If when it comes to the learning part, I would say that is about the way how I'm able to understand or learn from you what you are teaching me. If it's about taking notes or if it's about asking you questions in order to understand what you're talking about. I mean, that would say that there is a strategy of a student and the differences between both of them.
Okay, thank you very much, Blas.
Yeah.
Folks, and as you know, the teaching strategies, we can also say that they are techniques and even methods, okay, that a teacher can apply to support the students' learning. So when we talk about teaching strategies, is when the teacher can select these strategies, the most suited strategies to the according to the level, to the student's level, right? Because remember that the learners have different levels, okay, and even different learning styles. And a learning strategy, folks, we can also say that is a learner's way to organize and use a specific range of skills, okay? This is regarding to complete a topic or a task more efficiently and effectively inside of the classroom, right? As you know that, I don't know if you remember when we were discussing the 21st century skills, that they are most focused on those skills that must be innovative and creative, right? So here, when we talk about teaching strategies and learning strategies, they must be innovative and creative, okay? Teaching methods. Okay, let's continue to the next one. Let's see, inside of the teaching and learning strategies, we have visualization. What do you understand by visualization, folks? Do you consider that this is a technique?
Yes, because there are students that maybe they are not good as when the teacher is explaining, or a teacher use another strategy or technique, and most of the students they learn by when they are cuando están visualizando algo. I forgot how to say that, sorry. But in my case, I like to visualize something, and that is the way that I learn. You get me? I mean, you got me?
Caroline, what do you understand by visualization? Okay, go ahead, Blas. You're raising your hand, right?
No, but okay. Well, when it comes to visualization, is what Marilia says, and also I would say that it's about observing how things are being done by the person in front of us. Let's say if a person has a particular way of doing something, about the way that he writes, or how remarks something important in an article that it's really relevant for us, it's a way to notice that that little part of that article is really important for us. If we are, let's say, when in this case we are learning about the teaching and learning strategies, if we found a really interesting article, by reading we are also visualizing, and also we see that we found something like that caught our attention. We just remark it, and we remember that help us to remember that is really important and we need to be focused on it, because that give us like an idea of how to do or teach something to the learners.
Yeah,
Visualization is
yeah.
not only about the using of the pictures and draw, as as Blas says, we have to catch the teacher have to catch the attention of the student. We can use mind maps to organize and connect the definition of each word, of the definition of the type of topic. We can use charts, graphs. We can use a lot of things, as Blas said, to catch the attention of the student and make the class more creative,
Okay, thank you very much for your opinion, folks. So as you know, folks, visualization it is a useful techniques, right? So that most of the time we use to process or summarize the knowledge that has been instructed in class, okay? So this is when the student received the information through, as you were mentioning before, through visual means, they are more able to retain both the previous learning and the new information for a long time. So in this way, the learner to receive the information in a simpler, clearer, and systematic way, okay? So let's see another strategy that we have here. Teamwork, okay? Allison, talk a little bit about teamwork.
Well, teamwork is like a collaboration where the students achieve their learning strategies. And the students work and learn together in small groups to accomplish the goals that the teacher want to obtain from them.
Jorbin, what about you, Jorbin? Do you agree
Okay,
with Allison?
yes, I'm agree because teamwork it is essential to learn in a class. Usually in the class, we learn about any topic and we are work in group. It's something it is some important in the learning in a class.
Right. So teamwork, folks, is our groups, right? So especially when the class is divided into groups to complete a task that is being said by the teacher, right? So the teamwork, folks, it is recommended to encourage learners, especially of those that have different types of abilities, right? To work with on another one, mixed abilities, right? So you, the focus is when the student work in team is to share knowledge about the task that the teacher is asking for, okay? You can share the knowledge, the abilities there. Let's see another one. We have inquiry-based teaching. Andrea, what about you, Andrea?
Sorry,
Are
can you
Andrea?
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that for this one, it's kind of a method that a teacher
Yeah.
can use to pretty much like encourage students to ask questions in the classroom every time they have some inquiries or maybe investigate real life situations. And I think that we actually seal that in the class right now. For example, that we're working with videos that we upload to YouTube. We need to do some research first, and that's the way I will use it.
Okay, good. Good point. Ismael, what about you, Ismael?
Can you repeat the question, teacher?
So what do you understand by inquiry-based teaching as a teaching and learning strategies? Because can work in both, right?
Yes, inquiry-based teaching for me. I really don't know the concept, but I believe that it is based on having the students research by themselves, or like wonder themselves what is like the meaning of the topic that we're going to be discussing, having them develop their critical thinking skills and
Right.
problem solving.
Yes, that's right. especially when you encourage the learner to ask a lot of questions, right? About the topic that they were researching. And this
Okay.
is just for motivate a student to think more critically, as you said before. Very good. Now let's see the other one. A student-led classroom. Alicia, what about you, Alicia? Is not here, Alicia. Jacqueline, a student-led classrooms.
A student-led classroom, and in my opinion, we put a student when they have the ability and explain to other students what are they going to do, for example, and the teacher said, you are going to do this, and explain to your classmate, and because the student catch faster than others. And this is my opinion about a student-led classroom.
So you said that it's classroom instructions to be led by students, right?
Can be.
Another opinion? Alex, Jahir?
Isn't it? Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to say that I wanted to ask if student-led, isn't it the same as student-centered? Like placing the focus on the student and having them talk instead of the teacher explaining on the board.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, very good. Thank you. Let's see the other one. Implementation of technology in the classroom. Caroline, how would you do it?
Well, I guess that using all the tics that we already know, like doing a presentation using any kind of app to make a funny I don't know. It's like I mean, we are using technology right now. So this is one of the type of strategy that we can use. Maybe we can make a presentation and a PowerPoint explaining something using a video or using all the technology stuff that we already have. And not only PowerPoint, not only Canvas, and there are a lot of
Other resources, right? That you
yeah,
have.
of a lot of resources that we can use. No, it is not only
Especially for those active learning strategies, right?
yeah, we can also use like as Andrea knows a lot of kind of the games about
Right.
yeah, you know. Thank you. Sorry.
You have to learn about her. Okay, let's see another one. Okay, let's see now some strategies that we can use for students. And the first one is visual strategies. So do you think, folks, that when the student use visual strategies, they can learn and retain the knowledge better than when it's presenting to them in a traditional way?
I personally think so. I found like a lot of students, they have told me that when they have some visual aids like presentations, or they even play with games, they can retain the information. And somehow they have told me this after every test that they have, so they get the information and they get it right, and they say something like, oh, that was on Kahoot, or that was on the game that we played last Saturday. And it's not that I do it on purpose, but they do remember like the structures, they relate relate the pictures that they saw at that time with what they're doing now in the test. And I think that it's, you know, it helps a lot with memory and retention.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's see the other one. Auditory strategies. What do you think, Ismael, about this?
That's a good one. Like I said, I really don't know the concept, but what I believe of this is,
Okay,
what I think of auditory strategies are, I'm sorry, are like tools that a teacher can use to monitor the students and give like an evaluation for them. That can be like only supervising the students while they're working together, or applying any type of test or assessment, and like notebook revision, test revision, and as well evaluating the skills that they have.
okay, thank you very much. Folks, you can use auditory strategies, especially when you want to create learning experiences that involves listening and speaking, okay? So when you want to develop these two macro skills, you can use auditory strategies and using instructional methods. For example, when you begin with a new topic with the background of new concepts, okay, or when you use activities such as discussions, groups, or brainstorming, okay. So the idea here is to make students talk, listen first, and then talk, okay. Do we have another opinion about this one? Auditory strategies. Okay, thank you. Let's continue. What about the kinesthetic learning? Blas, it's your turn, Blas. Kinesthetic learning. What is that for you?
Well, I'm not quite sure about the I mean how to apply it. Maybe I do it, but I'm not realized about it. But I think that is about the it has to something. It's related to like when it's about reaction. When you see something, your students react because they understand. A big example would be like the game that JR the last time did with us. It is about Simon Says, by his saying Simon Says and touch your nose, and he did something else like touching his elbow. So and we do the right thing, that is touching the nose. We are giving the sign that we understand the purpose of it, and the words that he is saying. I mean, it's about that. It's about like the sense of movement. It's about like say something and react to it because you understand it, for me, but I'm not quite sure about it.
Okay, very good. Andrea, do you agree with Blas, Andrea?
Yeah, there are a couple of points that he talked about that are related to
TPR?
what I know about that. Yes. So when it comes to this kinesthetic learning, we have we focus on doing the activities. The way they learn is that they learn by doing the activities. So it involves body movements, just like the TPR. And also it's like the way I see it is because, this is like the way that I usually learn. It's a lot of people combine this with visual learning. It's that you see, then you try to do it on your own. And until you
Right.
do it, you think that you are able to do it correctly. So an example that I could give you is like, couple of months ago, I wasn't quite sure that I was able to plan something, like, you know, when it comes to teaching planning. But until I did it with books and, you know, all the resources that I had available, I was able to do it. And this is something that I have faced. And I think that at some point we are all kinesthetic learners as well.
Yeah.
We do it by visualizing, and also we start doing it ourselves. So I think that it does involve CPR, especially when we're working with children, because they start doing this by playing and by, you know, responding to commands that we give them with the TPR.
Okay, good. So folks, when you want to develop classroom activities for engaging students that involves physical materials, this is the right strategy, okay? Okay, folks, I really appreciate your connection, for being connected in this session. Just let me remind you that some of you haven't done the previous task yet of this class. Remember that you have a deadline for each one. Try to do it on time, please, okay? And if you don't have any question, folks, that will be all for today, okay? And see you next session.
We are dismissed. Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.